Hey now and welcome. February 27th, and we have a stick giveaway. Bubba, Uncle Rick, and I are going to do our picks. All you have to do is go in the comment section and tell us what game you think is an absolute lock for a winner. You don't even have to be right. We just want to give this stick. Put your comment in the section below, and let's get you going. Now, I know I'm a little sunburnt, I'm a little tan, I'm a little peeling. That's because the best gal in the world lives in Sarasota. So I went down to visit Tanya and I got some sun. I'm going back to the Sunshine State, going down to Florida to Jacksonville to do the Jacksonville-Utah game. It's going to air on CBS Sportsnet on Monday evening. Set your DVRs now. Don't foul it up. Enough about me. Let's get us some Bubba. And I got a new phone, so I got to figure out how I'm going to do this.
Booker,
My main man, Bubba.
how are we doing today?
I am doing fabulous. I am trying to merge the calls right now. We don't have Uncle Rick on the line yet, but we're going to find a way to make that happen. Here we go. Merge calls. He has to pick up first. I got Bubba on hold. There's Uncle Rick.
Nice.
Oh, how great is this, Bubba? Can you hear me?
I think I heard the legend for a second.
Yeah, I love it. We got Uncle Rick on there, right?
That is me. I just like to say, I can't believe how impressed I am that you pulled a merge off.
I tell you what, a man's got to know.
Guy going above and beyond.
Yeah, a man's got to know his limitations.
Like a good school. You know what I mean? It's like a good school. I mean, Billy Pilot's there for crying out loud.
Yeah, I tell you what, he could have gone a lot of places, and he chose the Noke. Now, I want to remind our viewers, we got the stick giveaway. We're going through our picks. All you have to do as a viewer, enter your pick that you think is a lock of the week. We got a big one on Friday, Hobart, Syracuse. Uncle Rick, we know you're going Syracuse. I'm going Hobart. Bubba, who do you think's going to win that game?
Well, I did a little research, and my buddy Bunk Reel, who's a Hobart legend, number 27 in the day, he claims they haven't won since 2013, and they're due, but that guy's not right very often, so I'm going to have to go with Uncle Ricky.
I tell you what, I appreciate that. Uncle Rick, am I right? You're going with Syracuse, or are you going to go off the board and pick Hobart?
I'm telling you right now, I'm going with my alma mater. I'm calling the game on television for the ACC. I think it'll be a fun game, up and down, 23 goals per game for Hobart. It's definitely going to be interesting. It's definitely a trap game, though, on a Friday night. Can't lie.
It is. And, Hobart will be without the services of my main man, Billy Miller, who I know gave both of you guys fits. I never had the chance to give you fits. I have a feeling the fit
Hold on a second. Billy Miller, time out. Billy Miller didn't give me any fits. I don't know about you, Bubba.
I got a fit. I got a couple fits from the guy.
He was tough. Billy, I love you. I go over your head every time.
I tell you what, we're going to pull up some highlight reels on that for next week.
MAB Paints versus anything.
I love it. The other Friday game, Richmond at Duke. I'm taking the Spiders. My sister's a genius, and she went to Richmond. I think the Spiders got it in them. Uncle Rick, who you taking on the Richmond-Duke game?
I'm going to go with Duke only because my number one midfielder, Ryan McKenzie, is going to Duke. I do love the Danowskis. By the way, I'm looking at my picture. Where in the world did you get this picture? That I had sweaty armpits. I was in a hot gym. I mean, my God, what are you doing to me? Bubba's got a tie. Look at him. Look good.
I have no doubt you smelled nice, though, Rick. What were you wearing?
You grabbed a white trash photo from out of, Google.
Hey.
Oh, my God, brother.
Every man's got to sail his own ship.
I'm telling you right now, though, but I got Duke. I just think, even though they're stumbled a little bit, Richmond is very good. Chimati's got those guys firing on all cylinders, but I am going to go with the Duke Blue Devils. I can't believe I'm saying it, but I am.
Yeah, and Bubba, I know how much you Maryland guys love Duke. Who you taking, Richmond Duke?
Man, I'm kind of with Rick. It hurts to say it, but it is still February.
Yeah.
So
see, Bubba's trying to be a winner. That's why.
If Duke were to lose, it's still February. I'm going with the Spiders in an upset.
The Spiders! I love it. Wow. Hey, let's get to the Saturday games. First one, kind of off the board, but these are two teams that are ready to make a splash, I think, this year. University of Delaware hosting Villanova. I coached at Villanova in 1992, arguably considered the greatest coaching staff in all of the history of sports, so I'm going with Villanova. Bubba, who you got, University of Delaware or the Wildcats?
I'm taken back. I thought that McDonough staff was might have been known as the best, Booker.
93.
The 93. So you went back to back.
Yeah,
back to back incredible staffs.
Luck.
I am going Villanova. Got a chance to see them play Yale. They beat Maryland. They had a tough schedule. I think they played Penn State as well. So I think they're a little battle tested, and I'm going to Villanova.
Okay, Uncle Rick, who you got?
First of all, why would I ever go for Villanova when I can go with people that are blue collar and have normal SAT scores and always be coached by my boy Benny DeLuca?
Love
Are
it.
you kidding me? I know Corrado's Italian. You got DeLuca Italian, but I got to go with my boy Benny D, who I was a rep for years. Love Benny D. Love Lori, his wife. Plus, I have like 5 guys that have played for me that are on that Delaware squad.
Love it. The ass-kicking chicken, we like to call them. Next game on the docket, and I have a feeling, Bubba, you and I might come to blows right here, and I know who's going to win that fight. Notre Dame at Maryland. Go Irish. Bubba, who you taking? Ha-ha.
Big shocker, Buck. Got to go with the Terps.
Right.
I think your uncle better. He's going to need a little more than a leprechaun running around the sidelines to get a W in College Park.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, they've done it before. They're going to do it again. Uncle Rick, break the tie. Notre Dame, Maryland. Who you like?
I mean, come on. Chris Wojcik, Wellner, Coach Corrigan.
Oh, don't do it, Rick. Don't do it.
First of all, you should have put Booker. What you should have done was put the picture of my daughter Angela, my daughter Vivi, and Kevin right up on there. We took him. He came to our school. We spoke. I'm gonna go Irish, even though I'm Italian. I do love the Terps. I really don't.
Yes.
So that way I'm going to lie, and I'm going to tell you, Bubba, go Terps. No, go Irish.
Nice. I tell you,
Awful.
now we got two teams that both of you guys I know absolutely love. Hopkins at Princeton, and I'm forcing you to pick. Ric Beardsley, who you got?
Oh, man, everybody loves Michael Sowers. I get that. He is pretty good. He'd be ripped in my day with butt ends. Wouldn't matter. We both know that. That being said, I can't believe as a Syracuse guy, I am going to pick Hopkins. But the reason why I'm going to pick Hopkins is because during the Under Armour All-American Games, I was VIP'd up into the Cornish Center. And whose chair did I get to sit in? Who did I take pictures with? But none other than the Petro, the best defenseman ever, Dave Petromala. So I unfortunately and fortunately going with the Blue Jays over – who are they? Who's the other team? Princeton? Please, come on. I hate to see those highlights of me losing in a national championship. It makes me sick.
Bubba, who you got, my man? Princeton?
I'm going back to I hate orange. Everything about orange. Doesn't matter who's wearing it. You can't trust
Bubba, you got orange hair.
Hey, that's about as close as I'm getting. So I'm going Hopkins. I'm seeing. I think Petro's going to get the boys fired up. They're going to knock them off.
That's interesting. That's a clean sweep for all of us, all three of us taking Hopkins. I think it's a statement kind of game. If Joey Ep.10 comes back, that'll be great. You talk about great defensemen. I got Bubba Burlace and Ric Beardsley on the Booker Corrigan show for episode 10. And make sure you put your comment. If you're going to win this stick, put your comment in there. The next game we're doing, Penn State at UPenn. UPenn just lost their best midi. That's going to be something to overcome. I'm taking Penn State in that one. Uncle Rick, who you got Penn State at UPenn?
Well, first of all, when we used to be beating Penn, we used to kill them back in the day, obviously. Now we're maybe not so great, but they used to say, it doesn't matter anyway, you'll work for us someday. So Guess what? For all you Penn alumnus that have said that to me and chanted that while I'm playing and we're up by 30, I am 100% going with my old guy I had to cover who's a Hobart statesman and Jeff Tambroni squad at Penn State.
That'll be a good one. Bubba, who you got?
I'm going Penn State as well.
Okay, so it's a sweep there, although I might flip-flop and go to UPenn. University of Pennsylvania Stadium, Franklin Field, the oldest two-tier stadium in North America. How about that for today's useless piece of trivia? Let's go, and I got to get off this one. It's Utah-Jacksonville. I'll be doing the game for CBS Sportsnet on Saturday. I want to know who you two are picking. I am not picking the game. So, Uncle Rick, who you got, Utah or Jacksonville?
Well, I do really love Coach Holman. He's old school, throwback, now living in Utah amongst the Mormons. But, I mean, come on. You know who's down there in Jacksonville. It's the Syracuse alum. I can't go against my main man, John Galloway, even though I do love my boy, Brett Manny, but I'm going with Johnny G and the Jacksonville squad on this one. And, Bubba, don't lie. You're going Utah.
I almost been changing because I don't know why I'm thinking like Ric Beardsley. It's scaring me a little bit. But I like Jacksonville. I think it's going to be an incredibly well broadcasted game. I think it's I think that's going to be the highlight.
I love it when you call me Big Pop.
That was the first thing you said the other morning when I called you up. You answered the phone saying, I love it when you call me Big Pop.
I mean, what is it? Who was the guy you made that call to? What? It's some big Gilman attackman?
No, it was BL attackman, Greg Pike, who went to Georgia to play football, and now he's like an NFL-type level guy. So it certainly worked out for him. I will tell you, I just did conference calls with both Jacksonville and Utah. Brian Holman, one of my favorite people. Johnny Galloway, one of the guys I wish coached my son. It's going to be a fabulous game, and yes, it's going to be very well broadcast, so that'll be fun. Let's get to Sunday because we got some clashes. We have two big games, Cornell at Ohio State. I like Jeff Teat. I'm going Cornell. Bubba, who you got, Ohio State or Cornell?
I'm going Ohio State. I think Travis Crane's going to dial something up for him.
Like Travis.
I think they're going to play a little bit of defense on, was that Sunday?
Yes, that's Sunday. Uncle Rick, Cornell, Ohio State.
I defer to the second half on this one. I mean, I tell you what, I love Peter. Pete's one of my guys. He's on my radio show all the time here. I love Peter. I do agree with you. Jeff Teat is great. The Cornell defense, I watched it the other day. They cleaned it up. They got some real good young rookies. I always loved Ohio State, though. This one's going to kill me, boys. This one's killing me. It really is. I love Ohio State, what they do. They play. They're big. They're strong as hell. Oh, my God. But I've got to go with my boy Pete. Because if I didn't, Pete would never take my phone calls again, and that wouldn't be fun for me.
There you have it. And the last one could be the second best game of the weekend, UNC at Denver. Bubba, I'm going to let you pick first on this one. Who you got?
I don't like taking Carolina, Book, but I think that Chris Gray looked pretty good. They got a little bit of offense there. Scares me going up against Coach T in Denver, but I'm going to hate it. I'm going to have to go with Bresh on this one. I think he gets a W.
Interesting, very interesting. Uncle Rick, who you got? The Tar Heels or the Pios?
I'm going to answer a question with a question and just ask Bubba. Bubba, did you play against Joe in high school?
He was I think he was 3 years older, so I did not.
Rival high schools?
Yeah.
Rival. Yep.
Rival. So you're picking your rival and Carolina, and you went to Maryland. That's interesting. You now have just taken your Terp card. Totally made yourself look so bad. Like there's so many people that are going to listen to this. And be like,
but you do understand that Jeremy did end my college career. Yeah. So there is a little bit of bitterness.
I was there. I admit it. I was there. That's right. I was at that game. But that being said, your kids are at Yale, dude. I mean, come on. My firstborn got to go to Syracuse. I mean, right? I mean, it's the way it works.
That's how it happens. Yeah.
But not to belabor a point and a question, which I often do, I myself am going to go with Joe Bresci because any human that can dab like he can and then wear a colored wig and wait for a haircut, and I do love Coach Tierney. I call him for advice because he's an angry guy. I'm an angry guy. I got to get angry guy advice because he's older on how to act. I call Bresh. It's just me and him, slide. He wears Jordans. Metsy's wearing Jordans. I mean, I got to go with Chris Gray, Nicky Solomon, and that defense. I got to go with the Tar Heels.
I tell you what, that place, Peter Barton Stadium, is a tough place to come in and play. I'm going to go with Denver. I'm going to go with Coach Tierney. He's a fabulous
Wow.
guy. What a great career
Wow.
he has had. I know
Hold
he
on.
terminated a number of you guys. I know you two, as great defensemen, know how important a great defensive coach is. And I think Coach Tierney's going to find a way to bottle it up a little bit. And I think I see Denver waltzing with an 11-10 victory over UNC, which brings us to the end. I got to remind everybody, if you want to win this stick, all you have to do is enter in the comment section what your lock of the week is, and you can waltz with a brand new twig. And what's wrong with free stuff, right, Rick?
Listen, I've heard the phrase, if it's free, it's for me.
Love it. Now let's get into the lesson. Bubba, you've done some great coaching, and one of the things, Brian Burlace on the line with his assistant coach at St. Mary's, you weren't coaching at St. Mary's for a long time, and they were in an area where they did not make the MIAA semifinals for a chunk of time. You've done some great work there. Let's give Vic Lilly some tremendous credit. I like his coaching style. But the preseason lessons and the preseason workouts are something that have had a great effect on that program. Obviously, Ric Beardsley, the other guy on the line, you've done so many clinics, countless clinics, literally countless. How do we help these youngsters fall back onto the fundamentals when too many coaches and too many players are focused just on the game-to-game preparations and the scouting reports, not the game plan? Rick, tell us a little bit about how that impact and how we can get kids to refocus on all that off-season work that helped them break into the starting lineup or maybe can make them an all-state player.
Well, first of all, my lovely wife, Tori, this morning said, that's why you do it. Because I was in Rochester last night, and driving home, I ran into a deer. I hit a deer and put $4,100 worth of damage onto my car. So I now have a rental in the driveway. But that being said, you're right. I've done probably 90-plus clinics, and my focus in the offseason, at least for defensemen, I'm all about footwork these days and kind of revolutionizing the game towards footwork, meaning no false steps, like football players. I kind of taken football drills and correlated them to, lacrosse drills. My biggest thing that I do with my guys now, and I think young defensemen should do, is concentrate on your footwork, and as well as concentrate on defending patterns. Because if you watch offensive guys do drills, they're dodging, bouncing, re-dodging. We need to practice against those. Cornerbacks in the NFL practice against the down and out 1,000 times, just like receivers run a down and out 1,000 times to run the perfect route. That's my biggest focus. What I would do as a defenseman is you got to keep it fun. You have to understand that, as Bubba will tell you, as being a defenseman, it is a boring position in practice because the old days you used to do footwork drills, right, some shuffles, and then crossfield passes, and a poke check drill. You have to really have a knack to want to play the position because it's a very stressful position. There's a lot of reps you can do in 30 minutes. I'm a huge believer in reps. I'm one of those guys playing a high rate of speed, rep, and then tweak, rep, then again rep, and tweak, so you get muscle memory. And then the only other thing I could say that I really enjoy doing is what I did last night, which was just get on Instagram, and I'm trying to grow the game. I don't care. I don't need people to pay me to do it. It's just, teach guys how to throw takeaway checks. Teach guys to be like Bubba Burlace was and ripping guys on the goal line extended back in '92, being a defensive of the year. And don't think I didn't watch those things, even being on the other side of the field, Bubba, being 4 years younger than you. I'm going to tell you, those are the things that I concentrate on. Like my offensive guys, it's about reps. But you can't fault coaches these days, volunteers. Guys are doing their best. I've always learned you can't yell at a parent. My daughter's coaches, I'm assuming I'm probably a better coach according to most people than most of those coaches out there. Not my oldest daughter has Tracy Wiener. She's from Farmingdale. She's a legend. Carol Rose, a legend. I'm not talking about those, but like youth coaches. A lot of parents, they just sit back and they nitpick. Well, they don't do this. I just sit back and shut up because let coaches coach. They're doing their thing, and the more you make a coach feel uncomfortable, the worse they're going to be for your children. So I try to sit back and also be a good parent because that's part of being, a part of being a good athlete is being a good parent, right, to your kids. But, yeah, I'm all about the training, man. You know that. It's all about training. You get better in the off season when no one's looking.
Yeah, and Bubba, expand on that a little bit, talking about approach angles and how you help that St. Mary's defense be disciplined in the way they defend 6-on-6 as a team unit.
Yeah, I think, what Rick said is 100% true. The more you can work on reps and approach angles and your footwork and got a goal line extended, the more you can work on that every day consistently, the more it starts to become muscle memory. And when they can start doing that without really thinking about what they're doing, then you can add. Then you can start adding some, tell them to go on to Rick's channel and see some of these takeaway checks. But you can't throw those checks out there before you got the basic fundamentals.
Yep.
So I think one of the things, we try to do is, work on those fundamentals. And like Rick said, it's boring. It's a lot of boring stuff. But, you have to be able to do it. And, we try to also, a couple things that we really focus on is concentrating on your fundamentals when you're tired.
Yeah.
When you're gassed, the first thing you do is you stop talking.
Yep.
You don't get in front of your man if you're on the crease. You throw that back check in a position where you shouldn't throw a back check. So we work on really focusing after running, after a tough tough segment to work on those fundamentals. And one thing that we also spend a lot of time on, and we didn't watch nearly as much film back when we played as we do now, but being able to watch film and go through. And one of the things that we focus is off ball. Being in the right position. If you're standing on the correct shoulder, if you're on the crease and you're on the wrong side, you're not covering the guy.
Oh, but you're right, man. How bad are some of those kids, right?
It's terrible.
And they get buried.
I can't remember. I think it might have been. I was talking to, it might have been Brian Kelly who mentioned it and kind of put a light bulb. I was like, wow, as a defenseman, you spend how much time in practice doing one-on-ones. You get into a game, you probably play about 5% of the time on ball. And the rest of the game, you're off ball. So you can be a great one-on-one defenseman, but if you suck off ball, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of them that suck off ball, man. It's
terrible
amazing to me, man. Like, what I find, Bubba, and you're hitting on so many great things, is that, like, off ball, just simple things. Like, kids don't drop their hips and get in an athletic position, so they have to react. So, like, they stand upright, and then they expect to react, and then they wonder why their coach says, hey, you were a half step slow. Well, it took you the half step to drop your hips and move, get in a good position. I mean, but, here's the deal. I was terrible off ball, Bubba. We all know that. Right? If you wanted to score lots of goals on me, you took me to the crease. I was kind of a ball watcher.
You just wanted to get to that ball so bad.
I did. But you know what? You're right. We spend a lot, too. I don't know how you do it at St. Mary's. We actually spend a lot of time playing, right? Playing in, like, situational stuff, where you're playing up and down, you let them go, and then you stop, and then you fix. And then you let them play for some more. And you have to, because if they don't, they're not prepared. Our job as coaches is not to get them to the next level. It's to prepare them to be at the next level. Meaning, you can do a lot and just get them there. That's easy. It's preparing them to be good, preparing them to start. A la like your son, right? He's a starter at Yale, correct? So
he is not starting, but
well, he's pretty close. Yeah, he's right there. I mean, so he's prepared, and his generation is different than ours. They weren't prepared. It's weird. There's so many coaches. The game's grown, but yet there's so many coaches that don't teach that fundamentals anymore. It's just like you're rolling a ball out playing. By the way,
yeah, and you see it. Some of the basics just drives you crazy. Just the way they're opening up to the ball or on breaks. And we try to do a lot of unsettled stuff because 6-on-6 can be, it's not that realistic. If you look at, the game today, the majority of the goals are probably in some sort of an unsettled. So, we try to do a lot of unsettled, and we also do full field because all of a sudden you're doing half field the whole time. Kid picks up the ball and, they just stop. That's not realistic.
What and my other question for you guys is, what rule change has there been truly to benefit the defense? What rule change? What is the dive rule a benefit to the defense? No, safety. Nope. Right? A shot clock? Oh, that's to benefit the defense? No. That's to make the game speed up and be faster. So make it more exciting. Right? Make more goalies get saves. Make, guys understand how to shoot, which, by the way, teams are understanding how to use the shot clock now. But what are they doing? What is – and, again, I'm a huge proponent of U.S. lacrosse. I've called and asked to volunteer anytime they need me to, and I will always. I want to grow the game better than anybody. But where's the advances going for our position, Bubba? Where is it going,
Hey, let me jump in. Hold on one second. I'm jumping in here.
Hey, who's this guy? Rick, who is this guy that keeps interrupting?
Every defenseman I see in college lacrosse now is like 6'2", 195, and runs like a deer. What more advantage do you need?
Listen to me. All right, go back. Hold on a second.
Look at this
Booker, how big were your defensemen on your college team?
Billy Dominikowski was like 5'8", 140. Mark Lawrence was 5'10", 155. And then we had Danny McLean from upstate New York, and he was 5'10", 185. This is Roanoke though, so it wasn't hadn't
Bubba,
filtered down yet.
We had all Danny Robbins, Danny Radebaugh, Steve. Those guys were all 200 pounds.
Chad Smith.
So the only thing is, there's just more of them now, right?
Yeah.
So like my defense in '92 was, we'll go to your year, right? '92, Winship 6'2", I'm 6'1", and Brian Tully was 6'3". 93, Reggie Thorpe. Oh my God, the guy's got the all-time penalty minutes in fighting in the NLL. And Pat Coogan, 6'2", 220. Reggie was 6'2", 215. I was 6'1", 210. Like, we were big. It's just the fact of – so, no, Booker, I'm not getting against you. Right. I'm just saying we were big back then. Now they're bigger now. It's just these guys, they are bigger, faster. I admit that. There are definitely some of them are bigger, faster, and stronger because of all the technology and all the training. Bubba, think about it. How much stronger is your kid than you were about that age, right?
I talked to Book about that on a show a couple of weeks ago. The off-season conditioning, just night and day. You can't even compare it.
Yeah,
because even in the high level now, we don't do a ton of conditioning once we start the season. Our kids, they better be in shape and ready to roll the day we start, and we'll condition. But it's more within the practice and games and within scrimmages and stuff. But it's we used to spend the first couple of weeks just running, just getting in shape.
I also got to go off topic here because I'm staring right at Booker's face on YouTube here, and to his left, which would be his right, my left, is Will Farrell. Can you please put your face on Will Farrell and put the mustache? Can you grow a stash like that and wear that jacket? Because you are known to wear salmon.
Oh yeah, I've rocked some salmon before. Although Rick, I got to point out that jacket I rocked that when I was 245. I weighed in.
Well, you are pretty in good shape, brother. You are in good shape.
Yeah, I weighed in at 177. What's that?
177. That's what I was in 7th grade.
There's Italian kids. They grow quick.
I swear to God, I was a lineman in 7th grade. Me, Steve Cargatera, Dom Finn. They were on my football team.
I love it. Hey, so we got a surprise for you at the end of this segment. We got to talk about the 1993 championship game because it was, in fact, one of the best championship games that was ever played. Obviously, the 89 game has its little caveat because of so many amazing players. But Bubba and I have had some debates in past shows about the 81 championship game, the 2009 championship game. The 93 game holds a lot of water with as far as greatness goes. Uncle Rick, you were in that game. What was it like, and did you know you were playing in an absolutely Hall of Fame game when you beat Carolina that day?
Well, you know what? I can't lie to you. Because I'll be honest. I'm a Guido. I shave my forearms and stuff. I admit that. I shave my arms, right? So my bare arms just got goosebumps. Okay.
Oh, good.
Because I'm trying.
You're still shaving them.
Of course I am. Come on. When I get more stumpy, they'll go again. Plus, I'm going to start tanning next week. That's all no story. But
good.
The car accident hurt me from tanning today. I wanted to start, but no, the '93 game. Yeah, you know what was great about that was the amount of people that were there. It was a really beautiful day at Byrd Stadium. I was recruited by Maryland. I didn't even go on the recruiting visit. I was an idiot. Probably should have. That place was great.
You did have SATs back then, right?
Yes, I actually got in.
That was the issue, wasn't it?
Just remember, Bubba, if I had been there, I'd have been on the defense with you. So I don't want to hear it.
I would have loved that.
I don't want to hear it.
I don't think I would have shaved my arms, but I would have loved it.
We would have had a lot more fun. But yeah, no, that game was. I was guarding. I was guarding John Webster. I'll never forget that.
He's my cousin.
Webby. Yeah. He didn't say 3 words to you either. He never talked smack to you.
Did he bury you on the crease the whole game?
Yep, he did. He did it my first game of that year too. He said, "Come on there, rookie."
And just sit over here, and I'll still score 4 goals somehow.
Yeah, he did, and he always did. So he legitimately buried me on the crease, and that game was great with the behind the back shot by John Barr when he got shoved at the end of the half to. Andy Lehrman, the backdrop of Lehrman being, Billy Day being out with a broken neck, and Roy Colsey scoring some big goals, Dom Finn scoring some great goals. That team was just loaded across the board, and then the infamous play on the fast break with TJ Shemitis in a 4-on-3 or a 5-on-4, pushing the ball and trying to throw a flat skip, and I knocked it down. And funny side note to the story. When Reggie picked it up, the first practice of the season, we happened to be out on a grass field at Syracuse Wolf Field. And Reggie, I stripped a guy, and Reggie came out of nowhere. Boom, he picked it up. And he's like, his upstate accent, "Hey, bad boy, you just put it down. I'll pick him up. Don't you worry." And when I picked that pass, I knocked the pass down because I obviously dropped it, and then missed the quick Indian pickup. And Reggie was right there. I thought about that as you were going down on that break. And then that's the epitome when they put those highlights up of the tic-tac-toe. Yep. That was legitimately tic-tac-toe. That was bang, 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 finish.
And it was a breakaway.
And it was weird. I can't believe the Carolina D.
They slid way too early, right?
Yep. Yeah, they slid north. They created
way
offense.
Upfield.
And I can't believe that. If you look back to the video, maybe Matt Ryder did step in.
Oh, that's the first I've ever heard of that.
Right? Right? Has anybody ever slowed that down to see?
No.
I never had.
Was it Jamie Archer who threw him that pass?
Nope, it was Charlie the Laser Lockwood with the no look.
Wow.
Yup, and his second bar syndrome, with no look and his second bar syndrome, and he threw off, I think, Alex Martin. Who, by the way, did your son play with yours, Bubba?
He's there now. He's at Yale now.
Yeah, Xander.
Alex Martin. I saw him. Speaking of the devil, his kid was playing at Big Four, and I just walked up to him and started chatting. He's like, "Are you Ric Beardsley?" I was like, "Holy Jesus Christ!" He looked like he could play again.
Yeah. Alex Martin's the best. Yep. He lives here in Baltimore. He's a Gilman guy.
Yeah, that's so I've learned, by the way, to sidetrack here, I've learned all about, Maryland lacrosse here. I'm learning because Rubior, I'm learning all these guys. I was so confused. I'm going to pull out one name that's going to get you crazy and you're going to love it. Mike Bracken.
Who's he?
You don't know Bracken?
No, Mike Bracken?
Bracken.
Come on, he had 7 goals for Salisbury in the playoffs back in the old days.
Okay. Yeah.
I thought you were going to go nuts. Bracken's like the ultimate lacrosse fan.
I love it. Now, the other thing we got to talk about is Ric Beardsley's going to be coaching that Under Armour underclass Connie team. How excited are you to do that again?
Let's be honest, I'm the best coach. Let's just say it. I mean, nobody brings to the table what I bring to the table. Passion, enthusiasm.
Knowledge.
Yep. Looks.
Good. Shaved forearms. Shaved forearms.
Shaved forearms. The ability to not put on sunscreen and not worry. No, I'm excited. I tell you what, look, I really loved it last year. I mean, I really did. I kind of took the ball by the.
But Connie, that's really not your style.
I know, but here's why I did it. Listen to me. Here's why I did it.
What are you getting all prep school on us there?
No, but that includes Freshchester, the best Chester.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
You got any Lakeland guys running around?
Yeah, the Lakeland guys, no. There's some good ones. I don't know if they're at that level yet, but I didn't want to do the upstate one because I wanted to go coach guys who have never coached before. And man, did I get a chance to really coach some good defensemen. And you know what? That's where I saw a lot of guys lack basics, but we were able to fix that. I had a blast. It was a hot day. Oh my God. How many? It was so hot that week.
You guys won it, right?
No, we only won like one game.
No, that's right. Maryland won it. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean that's because you guys, the refs, you play 13-on-10 always when you go down there.
Oh God, here we go.
Geez, please, you guys, are you really going to do that? Because you get an average snowfall of 6 inches, and I get 136, and 20 miles above us right now is getting 4 feet. They're breaking a record.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's getting killed.
I didn't know you took meteorology at Syracuse.
You good in Annapolis. Come on down, Rick.
Oh, my God, I would. It's the best. How could you, Bubba?
I could see you in like some boat shoes. You could look good.
Oh, God, of course I'd be in Gucci boat shoes, right? I got, what else? Did they make like Versace black tank tops? Is that it?
You're not a sailor, though. You're definitely a muscle. You'd have a muscle boat, wouldn't you?
And a satchel. Indiana Jones wears one.
Oh, my God, of course. I wore the fanny pack back in the day.
A satchel? You guys are kidding me, right? You're not really going to wear that, are you?
I mean, something that's got to hold your wallet and your phone.
Yeah, and there's Skittles in there. I mean, come on.
There's nothing wrong with that. You're right, Annapolis. That's a beautiful place. You don't live down there, Booker, do you?
No, I live in Baltimore, Lutherville. Yo, Lutherville.
I don't even know where that is. I get lost.
It's right up it's by Townsend. I don't know.
I messed around and shot a triple-double and ended up in Teddy Bauer's place and ran into him. I haven't seen him in 30 years.
Love him. Yeah, great place there.
Good place.
Great place.
Yeah, so Annapolis. But yeah, guys, I learned that Maryland thing. I just know. Does everybody still have long hair down there?
No, I'm keeping it a little tight. A little tight.
A little tight. It's not quite as much as it used to be.
Yeah, I need it a little tighter. My girl Tanya likes it longer, though.
Dude, really? I go skin fade every Thursday. I missed it today. I got to go tomorrow at 10. Every Thursday, I tighten up. You got to. Round face tightens up the jawline.
You're such
you do the brows?
Yeah. Of course I do the brows. They get a little crazy, dude.
A little bushy.
Listen, your ears and your hair never stop growing.
Really?
So they say your ears, nose, and your hair never stop growing.
Eesh, yeah, the nose on me took it keeps going. The hockey took a turn for the worse there. Hey, it's a good place to end. I want to congratulate you both on having more career points than I ever did, which is phenomenal. And let's have a great week. We're going to come back and do this next week. We're going to give away this stick in 48 hours to somebody who puts something in the comments. Uncle Rick, can't thank you enough. Very much appreciated.
Guys, are you kidding me? I'm on with two legends. I mean, this just made my day sitting in my kitchen. I mean, I'm glad that we don't have video, but do me a favor. If I ever come on again, can you at least get a better picture?
Better picture with some shave. If you come on again, I'm shaving.
I'll find a good pick.
Yeah, I'm going to shave my forearms on the show.
Yes, you should, and you'll see the veins in them. You'll feel jacked.
I tell you what, a little older than you both. So, but thank you, Uncle Rick. Bubba, as always, a true pleasure. Love having you on, my man.
All right, love you guys. Good talking to you.
Take it easy. Take it easy. What an absolute treat to sit back and listen to two great, unbelievable defensemen talk about teaching defense and, of course, our picks. I've said it a bunch. Win the stick. Just put a comment in the comment section. This show's going to be going crazy, and the people are too. I'll see you all on CBS Sports. The game Jacksonville hosting Utah will air on Monday night, but it's being played on Saturday. And until next week, I'm Booker Corrigan, reminding you, you only get one shot at today.